Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be dedicated to Bleach, Chapter 653, The Theata Suicide, Scene 7. And we open up with a continuing little bit of flashback, where Kyoraku's brother is being given a hairpin by Nanao's mother and father. They're exchanging gifts. He's giving him a hairpin. Most of that, when she's out suppressing hollows and he's not around, it'll, knowing he's holding on to one will inspire her. So it's just kind of like a memento kind of gift. But there's a nice little bit of, on the manga stream part of it, there's a nice little fan art of Nanao holding the sword.
Yeah.
And then continuing the flashback, Shunsui, the younger Kyoraku, is like just smirking. Got such a big little shit-eating grin on his face, which earns him a headbutt from the brother.
But he's happy for his brother, so...
Yeah, apparently the guy has actually mellowed out because of his wife's influence, so... And then as we go on, like we see the two of them each holding a hairpin, and we flash back to modern-day Kyoraku, who's got both hairpins in his, and he's kind of standing behind them now. Well, not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, who is not doing so well. Yeah,
yeah, like I can kind of see where this is going, because if you think about it, Tweety Barrow has been calling her an adjutant this whole time, or an aide. So it's like, she probably hasn't really seen a lot of real combat, so she's...
Yeah, which only makes this even more of an asshole when you have to make her be the one to unleash the final attack. You know, like, that's the problem, you know? The Now does her job. Like, what I'm saying is, like, why she's obviously really good at Keto, why not have her, you know, excel in that field and flourish, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying, like, they were hyping her up in terms of Keto ability, so why not let her Keto be the one to defeat him? Like, I feel like it's kind of like they're doing everything they can to not use Keto in these fights now. It's like, you know, it's like they're not even bringing the Keto core in. It's like, is Keto not a thing
Keto core specialist needs her Zanpakuto.
Yeah, like in the Zanpakuto that we never heard of. You know, I just feel kind of. I feel this is too manufactured. It's too artificial. Like, I get it. She's supposed to struggle because she has never held a sword before, or at least never really had real experience. But then why put her in this situation in the first place? You know, it's because look, she's trembling, she's vulnerable, and it's not even that she's fighting a bit and then slowly losing, which is a great way of showing weakness. But at the same time, you know,
it's just
showing that she
standard critical hit scenario.
Yeah,
critical
so like
failed, you know, she has no idea what to do next.
Like for example, Ichigo was fighting Byakuya, but you could tell he was slowly losing the fight because he simply didn't have enough experience. It could be a little more dramatic with her because she has almost no experience, but it can't just be like she gets beaten up over and over again, because it just takes away the hype that we originally got, and not to mention that hype was too artificial to begin with. And I said this in the last review, and I kind of stuttered when I said it because there was a weird way. I thought it was a weird phrase. Yeah. But basically what I wanted to say was, the higher you build up someone, the higher the fall will be when you don't pull through.
Yes.
And it happens way too quickly. In both those sides happen way too quickly, so it feels like a whiplash. And that's why I feel like you hyped her way too quickly. It's like a chapter to hype her up, and the next chapter she falls. So it's just like, whoa, you know. It feels like unnecessary, you know. And okay, so I'll continue into the next few pages. And she's basically talking about how she's gotten injured and it's not so good. And she talks about how scared, how hurt, how she's like, I didn't know being cut would hurt this much. Really? Okay. I guess she's never been in battle before too. Yeah. She's scared. Her feet won't budge. Looks a lot like Rukia. Holy shit.
Yeah, but at least Rukia is like, I never really thought of Rukia as like choking in combat though.
Yeah. Well, the problem is Asno made it look like that because he had the sphere concept, so it didn't make her choke.
Well, that was artificial. That was artificial choking.
Yeah, no, but it just still felt really bad, though.
Yeah.
Especially when you had this hype going into her. Same thing.
Yep.
So we have Kyoraku coming up behind her and making her feel comfortable, like, you know, happy and all that.
Yep, like I said, it's just like, see, we get this kind of like narrow-eyed look on there, like of, I don't know, contentment. And that's when Tweety Barrow decides that I guess he wants to counterattack.
Wait, contentment? Wait, what?
I don't know, like the eyes, I don't know. Well,
no, she's like tearing up. She's tearing up. She's being happy. That's what's happening. She's like about to tear up because she's happy that her captain's there by her side. That's what.
Okay, it's just like the weird look on there. I couldn't quite make that out for myself. But anyway,
no, that's what it is.
Tweety Barrow's ready to attack again. So now you decide to come out and play. How pathetic, hiding behind your own subordinate. and a big old horn forms up right above him. What a sad excuse for commando. Now listen to my sound of my trumpet and perish. So yeah, I really don't think I'm getting a Tweety Bird there, but whatever. It's what it is at this point. I say that. And while the trumpet blares, they're pretty much getting ready to attack. Kiraku assures her now he'll be right behind her. And like I said, she's thinking to herself that she came to provide support for the commander, but instead it's going the other way around.
Yeah. So, you know, he talks about how she couldn't stand on her own 2 feet before, but now, you know, she's always supported him and all that stuff. So she's basically summing up their relationship.
Yeah.
And then you have this extremely huge blast that envelops a lot of the area.
From the sniper, as you pointed out on Twitter.
Yeah.
The sniper is like overkill blast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is definitely not sniping. This is just like a bomb.
Yeah. And then we see Tweety Bird apparently get more or less cut in half by the bounce back. Like, and we see like of all the damage, like the one little part that survives is where Kiraku and now were standing. And like, I see. It reflects the ability of the god it is facing. You mentioned something of the sort, if memory served me right. Okay, wait, real quick, little sidebar. Dude, explaining your powers is a staple of this whole series, and you don't realize that? It's your own damn fault for not listening.
Yeah, I just like, she explained it to you like 10,000 times. How do you not get that? What? Ah!
To claim to be able to brush away the power of a god, such a preposterous pretense, is a grave sin indeed. And as the divine messenger rains down, as it says there, they watch on, and Tweety Bird is presumably gone for good. Ha 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 ha! We will see.
Man, like, yeah, I was thinking, like, is this like his final attack before he dies, like a last-ditch effort, kind of like how Baragon tried to throw that one axe at Aizen? Because he's like still being cocky as he's dying. Like, he was so arrogant, and he couldn't understand the idea of them beating him. Yet now they beat him, and he's like, I mean, not even giving us the satisfaction of him like cowering or breaking down. I mean, isn't that the whole point of the arrogant villain?
That's what I was saying.
See him break down.
That's what I was saying to you before we started on this, right? Like the arrogant villain, the best part of villains like that is like watching them lose and watching them break down when they fail.
Yeah, I mean, like, as much as I felt that the Aizen thing was a disappointment, at least I got a little bit of satisfaction from seeing Aizen lose it when he was being sealed. That was a pretty cool thing, because you got this guy who's hella calm and overconfident this entire manga, and then he gets beaten by Ichigo and then sealed by Urahara, and it's just like, yes, you know, take that, you asshole. How is this guy still being arrogant, like, and overconfident? You're dying, you idiot.
And he's dying from like a form of genre blindness that should not exist in Bleach. Like I said, everybody explains their attacks and abilities. Everybody. And this guy is shocked because he didn't bother to listen to it.
Yeah, because he's so arrogant.
Yeah, I was about to say, that actually is kind of a sign of his arrogance, but still.
But like, still, it makes him look stupid rather than arrogant.
Yes, it does.
There's a difference between arrogant and just being moronic. I mean, like, Aizen was arrogant as hell, but he was hell of intelligent. So when you do beat him, it feels really good because you have to work for it. Yeah.
Lily Bar as an enemy, as a character, has largely been a disappointment. He had an interesting power. He was apparently able to take down a bunch of small fry, but then again, they're small fry, so who can't take him down? But it's like, I don't know if it's because of Baro's fault or Kubo's fault. Well, I guess it's Kubo's fault because he's made the character, but it's like, we start out with this intimidating sniper who does the whole inner monologue thing like you mentioned when we did that chapter. And then when he starts fighting him, he gets all upset, all pissy because Kiraku's actually matching him. And when he's finally got that done, his Volstand egg turns him into Tweety Bird. And then from there, he drops all pretense of actually being a sniper. All that precision stuff goes right out the window.
I could have at least been okay with him.
What in all of this, since he became Tweety Bird, could in any way relate to the words X-axis?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure they could have found like an animal, like an eagle or something, you know, and then combine the animal with his attack. You know, maybe he sends like the eagle that goes really fast. Like you could there many use this whole transformation ability and combine it with the with his like sniping ability. Like that's the problem. Like Kubo moves on from his abilities way too quickly. He doesn't understand. He keeps forgetting that he's already had a very good stable pool of good creative abilities to use from. Like, keep what you have and use it in new ways rather than just moving on, like throwing away the last ability and moving on to something new for one, to have a one use. It just, again, it's just like you could. There's so many ways that I could think of in terms of what Lilibaru could have done with his sniping abilities, as well as keep his transformation. Make it so that the sniping,
yeah, because I don't think any of us ever had any real issue with the transformation itself, beyond how ridiculous it looked.
Yeah, but that's like a thing that's all the Quincy's. Like they're supposed to be angelic, but I get the whole point. They're angelic, but in reality they're like really disgusting, grotesque.
Yeah.
But I just kind of felt like there's so many ways that we could have kept his sniping abilities, but still also keep what Kubo wanted from him, which is the bird.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's ways to do that. I mean, you could just make you could at least make it a single narrow beam or something, not something that destroys entire chunks of the continent.
Or make it like he's sniping small little tiny eagles and birds that follow you everywhere. That's fine.
Yeah, because like I said, one of his things was like once he targeted you, you would not miss.
Yeah. Yeah, so he targets you, and even if you dodge it the first time, he'll follow you until it hits something, kind of like Darkseid's Omega Beams.
Yep.
And then because the problem with his ability was that it still goes in a straight line. Well, what if it traces you like a bird? So like each of his the bullets, quote unquote bullets, have a mind of its own, and they're like small birds that just follow you to no end. And then you have to actually make them hit something in order to get rid of them. That's a great way of using his abilities and in keeping the bird thing. And as well as having the bald eagle, because bald eagles have really good vision, so that could also be something too. I mean, there's so many ways that he could have done this, but
yeah, I mean,
decided I don't like snipers.
Because even with everything Pernita did, he still kept the same basic powers with the nerves.
Yeah, I mean, Pernita's actually was done. It was weird, but it was done in a way where you could tell that it made sense. But also the thing is, though, Pernita didn't use a Volstandig. He kept his abilities because he basically didn't transform. He did,
True.
It was the same thing.
Yeah. Of course, with all this, I wonder what Thor's going to end up doing.
Thor, right? Yeah, exactly, Thor. What is he going to do?
Right, because we can imagine his powers are not going to have anything to do with the God of Thunder. After all, Kubo doesn't want to get sued.
Turn into the Incredible Hulk? Turn into another Marvel superhero?
Spider Thor.
Spider Thor, because those two relate somehow,
Yep.
Or do what the Marvel did and turn him into a woman.
And then because he's not wearing a shirt, all the male seal reapers will be just stop in their track and stare. Yeah. Like, Randy, you have no idea what to do at this point.
Yeah. I'm trying my hardest to get a good review of Bleach. I'm trying, but it's not letting me. I'm trying to find good ways. Like, the flashback was okay.
Yeah, that's
everything
true.
else... Everything else...
The flashback scenes...
The
flashback scenes have been all right. I've liked them all right. I mean, they're assholes out of nowhere, but they're still at least interesting to read.
Yeah, well, we point out that he is generally good at that. Mm-hmm. He knows how to invoke emotion out of those flashbacks. I just wish that he could invoke emotion out of the present. This is about the present more than it is about the flashbacks, which can help and support what you want out of the characters. But ultimately, we want to get to know the characters and develop them as we go along the series, rather than through flashbacks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much where he's standing. Like this whole fight's been kind of a disappointment here. So I'm almost. And then next we get the Thor ripoff, which does not leave me with high hopes.
I swear to God, if Lilibaru's like, I'm actually alive again, I'm gonna freaking throw a shoe at the computer screen or something. I don't know. Also, by the way, I want to point out the last thing. I don't feel like the now, like it just I don't know. Like, was he? It felt like it was Kiraku who did it. Well, now was just there to be the Issei member who can activate the ability. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He's the one who he's the one who actually controls her. She's just the one. She's just the vessel that is needed to actually activate the weapon.
Yeah, and really, because of how it felt like it played out, you can't even really call it a team effort.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like I said, I don't want him holding her hand. I told you, I didn't want him holding her hand. I wanted him to like distract little Baro, and then she comes in for the final blow, like out of nowhere. Maybe she uses like a Kido that can hide her presence. See, using Kido. There's so many things that could have been so much better. And
yeah, but like I said, it's like they don't even bother remembering they can use Kido. Or Kido is like Shuriken and Kunais in Naruto. Yeah, they do nothing.
Yeah, I just feel like I know that's not Kubo's not trying to make it take away from the now, and he's trying to find a way from the now to do something, but at the same time not. Well, like what I'm saying is not trying to do something, but at the same time trying to keep the fact that she's still inexperienced. But he's not executing the way I think he should. Like again, have Kiriko do the most of the busy work. Because he's the captain, he can handle a lot more, and she comes in for just one blow. A lieutenant, she's capable now for one strike.
Kiriko's the tank, and now's the DPS.
Yeah, I mean that could be a great way of doing it, but no, he decided to do that, which is I'm a little disappointed.
No, I mean. Like I said, on the one hand, at the very least, Kiriko's his actual role was more moral support, which he did need. But like, again, the way it was executed just fell flat.
I would have laughed if she started crying. Did she cry? Actually, no, she just felt
No, we just got that weird little look in her eye.
Okay, yeah, because if she cried, I swear to gosh.
Yeah, Senpai's noticing me.
Nissan. Or Uncle.
Yeah, G-san.
Oh, yeah. Because I just remember Nissan from Rukia, because it's Nissan.
Yeah. Nissan. With her, isn't Nisama?
Whatever. She worships her brother.
Yeah,
even
she
though he
does.
tried to execute her. Okay.
Arguably because he tried to execute her.
Yeah, but this is a messed up situation. But it was just like, can we just not have the whole crying thing, please?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, like I said, hopefully this fight's done. It was like at the same time. We've had so many fake outs already, nobody's really expecting it. So I don't know what to say on there.
Unless that's the thing. Unless Kubo's making us do the fake outs intentionally so that he could actually trick us and figure us out this time,
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. But, yeah.
Yeah, so that's... I think we kind of petered out here, so we might as well cut the review at this point. That's been our review of Bleach Chapter 653, The Theata Suicide, Scene 7. This week we also have One Piece and Akame Got Killed, so keep an eye out for those. Meantime, take us away.
Bye!